Hey guys, this is Val. So in this video I'm going to do a review of Stonemason Streets of Asia 1, 2 and 3. So how do they differ? How do they actually behave inside our studio, and what's the pros and cons of each one of them? So if we just take a look at the promotional renders here of Streets of Asia 1, we can clearly see that it's a gorgeous looking prop. It's a little bit older, but it has some really cool angles you can choose from. I'm going to dive right into Dash Studio and show you that in just a second. So if you go back to Streets of Asia 2, which is a newer model, right? It's the same visual style. Showing you quickly the renders here. Just love these props. It just looks amazing. Okay, and let's look at the third one, Streets of Asia Courtyard. All right, some more confined space. Alright, awesome. So let me jump right into Dash Studio, and let's just take a quick look at the first one. So this is Stonemason Streets of Asia 1, and as you can see, it's a kind of a large prop, right? It features a large area and a lot of all these angles you can play with. Just awesome. It doesn't feature, I mean, it has a lot of details, but because it's an older prop, it doesn't have as many details as the other ones. But it is indeed the larger of the three. Okay, so it has the larger, it covers a lot of ground, so to speak. Let me turn off that annoying flashing thing. Alright, you can also, I mean, go into this building over here, and it has a bridge right next to it, so it gives you that distant, if you want to create some distant renders which have a little bit more space, you can do that as well. So it's a larger prop, but it's kind of naked, if you will, on the edges here, right? It's empty, so it has only this main feature, this main view here. Okay, now let's add a quick HDR map to it. And always before you do that, you have to remove the dome. So let's go in here, remove it, and let me choose Dimension Theories. Skies and Radiance, right? Let's just pick one here. Daytime. Alright, Sunny A. Let's see how that looks like. So what I'm gonna do is just go in here quickly. Alright, I'm gonna do show dome on, just use dome only, and switch on preview, right, so you can see what's going on. Alright, here I'm having some settings for black and white. Let me just remove that quickly. Alright, there we go. So now we can see the prop in its full glory, right? How does it really look like? Here, this kind of is floating. That's part of the building, I guess. I just love the way this looks like. I mean, it's a very majestic prop and scene, and it has this nice water to it, right, and all the details around it. So I mean, despite the fact it's an older prop, it looks really good, and it has very nice details. Plus it renders really quickly. Sometimes older props have a little bit less data in them or details in them, so they render really fast. Alright, so let's move on to the second one. Alright, so I'm just quickly loading the second prop to the same sky, and just to see how different it looks. So this prop here has the same visual style. Let me first just do texture shaded so you can see what's going on. It has the same visual style. It has a smaller area, as you can see. It's more condensed to just this centerpiece around here, just where I'm with the camera. But as you can see, it has a lot more details, trees and all that, which the first one doesn't have, right? So there's a lot more details in here. If we just raise the ground a little bit, you can just get a sense for the scale. So the second one offers a lot more options. It has more 360-degree options. You can turn the camera around pretty much any direction, and there's always something pointing there, right? So it gives you those options. And let's now add a HDRI map. So I'm going to move the sky dome. And just go ahead and click on it. There we go, sky, remove, and quick preview. Awesome. Alright, so here is the prop with some sunlight. Looks gorgeous, right? And there's, if you take a look at the roads, they are not as static as in the first one. They actually bend a little bit, you know. There's a lot more variation. Spot render, so I don't see that flashing going on. So overall, I think this has more details and variation. It's a smaller prop in scale than the first one, but it offers more variation and details. Plus you can look with the camera full 360 degrees, alright? And there's still water in it, alright? There's still water, but also it just gives you that many more options as far as view goes. Plus if you move the camera back, there is this bridge here, right? So you can still get those nice bridge views underneath here with the water and all. And this is, I mean, straight, I just loaded it straight into iRay and start rendering. There is no adjustments made whatsoever, so it works pretty well straight off the bat, right? Really cool. Alright, let's move on to the third one. Let's go to, so the third one comes with two versions. One is a more plain look, and the other has the original one has a little bit more details right in the center of it. So I just load this one, and let's take a quick look at it, just through perspective, camera, and texture shaded preview. Alright, so how does this look like? To me, this is a much smaller prop, but the amount of details is astonishing, right? Clearly, if you want a smaller piece of Asia and a lot of details, this is just remarkable. You want to use this prop, obviously. Now, how does it look when you add lights to it? So again, I'm going to remove the sky dome, and I'm going to add some lights. So let me just see if I can get it to render here. And there we go. It's the same light set. I kind of like the washed out look I have. I have the ISO value to 150, so it, you know, gathers a little bit more light. This looks awesome, but again, it's a much smaller prop. Perfect. So pretty much, guys, the what I believe is the best overall, you know, Streets of Asia version is number 2, because it has it's kind of a mid-size thing, but it has a lot of detail. This one, the third one, has awesome details, but it's a much smaller prop, so it's less versatile that way. But if you like the amount of detail, then this one is awesome, right? So number 1, the original, is a little bit older. It doesn't have the same quality. It's a larger prop, but it also has a lot of emptiness in it. Number 2 doesn't have that. It's more confined. It's more well-rounded, so to speak. So out of the 3, Streets of Asia 2 is the winner. So if you need to get just one, if you just want to get one of these, then get number 2. If you really like the quality and look of this one, obviously, then get number 3. And number 1 is the larger prop of the 3, but has less detail in it. They all render pretty quickly. Stonemason is good at optimizing his props, so they render, you know, nice and quick. And with that said, guys, thank you for watching. If you want to get these props, click on the links below, and I'll see you next time.